A thread was made on both Bilibili and TapTap yesterday from the official developers of Tower of Fantasy. This thread went on to address a few different concerns that the developers had with regards to rumors, misinformation, and, as the title no doubt gave away, an unfortunate announcement pertaining to the Western release of the new MMO. I have been covering this game for almost 2 years now, with anticipation building upon every reveal, every update bringing us one step closer to release, which is why this is so disappointing for me to read. But we are going to go ahead here and read through the announcement regardless, because let's be real for a moment. While they may have canceled the global release of the game, that does not mean that we cannot still have fun playing it in Chinese, and it doesn't mean that we will not still get a release outside of China one day. Since the public beta, the official team for Tower of Fantasy has gained much more attention than expected. We are well aware that we still have many shortcomings, for which we are deeply sorry, and thank the players for their understanding and support. And let me just stop here for a moment. The quote-unquote many shortcomings is with regards to all of the issues that the game has had since the game launched. The rushed release, the bugs that accompanied the rushed release. Shortcomings hardly comes close to being accurate, but you know what? It is a decent start. Regarding the recent rumor that it is suspected that the official of Tower of Fantasy leaked identity information to provide foreign players to register, we checked with TapTap and stated the facts as follows. The international version of TapTap is the national page for Tower of Fantasy, and the developer in logo here refers to the developers of Tower of Fantasy in the domestic version of TapTap, not the official Tower of Fantasy in the international version. After communicating with TapTap, there is no plan to open an international service for Tower of Fantasy, and related matters will be discussed separately. And that right there is the confirmation that there will be no international release anywhere in the immediate future. There is no plan to open an international service for Tower of Fantasy. If that is not the most depressing way to start 2022, then I don't know what is. The Discord group is not built by the official staff of Tower of Fantasy. The group owner and the user who posted ID information in the group are not official staff of Perfect World Games, Tower of Fantasy, or TapTap, and no official staff of Tower of Fantasy has ever made any contact with these accounts. The group's questionnaire research, the player recruitment, and other actions are not related to the official Tower of Fantasy. So I guess it's worth noting, if you weren't already aware, the Tower of Fantasy Discord is not in fact operated by the official developers, and they wanted to confirm this themselves due to some confusion on the topic recently. Regarding the video, dynamic and live content released by the B Station user contains unverified, inaccurate information. We have completed the forensics and will further pursue its responsibility by legal means. For other people who are still spreading inaccurate information and maliciously smearing Tower of Fantasy and Perfect World Games, please immediately delete the relevant untrue content. We will retain the right to pursue responsibility. And this is actually a little concerning, but it is to be expected. Spreading misinformation, even inaccurate information, can do a lot of damage to not only a video game, but the developer or the publisher behind said video game. And as such, Perfect World Games and the Tower of Fantasy developer team specifically are going to be seeking legal action against multiple different users that have been doing as such. So it is probably best to be careful. We once again hope that the majority of players calmly and rationally judge all kinds of speech, common resistance to disrupt the network public opinion environment, do not believe in rumors, do not spread rumors. If you find similar rumors and suspected infringement accounts, please contact the official customer service. We will be the fastest speed verification feedback and players together to maintain a healthy and harmonious network environment. And whew, that was quite the information overload. But to summarize, Tower of Fantasy has gotten quite a bit more popular than Hotta Studio had anticipated. Yeah, you guys are welcome for all the videos that I've done on the game, Hotta. There have been a substantial number of issues that have tanked the overall reception of the game and the score overall, but they are asking for players to give them time to fix everything. They have confirmed that they have absolutely no interest whatsoever in releasing the game outside of China right now, meaning that any hope of any English release has been completely shattered, which likely is not their permanent stance, but is still somewhat disheartening to learn. Players have been spreading misinformation in an attempt to tarnish the reputation of both Hotta and Perfect World Games, and they are seeking legal action against them along with other players in the future if they continue to do the same. Now, I'm so gutted that we won't be getting Tower of Fantasy, at least not for quite a few years. This game is just absolutely gorgeous, and it looked to provide what a lot of Genshin players were hoping for. A large open world with a beautiful anime aesthetic, fantastic fluid combat, character creation, the ability to customize your character, a story, a functional MMO. Yet, what we ultimately ended up getting was not only a buggy mess, but a game that we can only play in Chinese. I guess I'll keep an eye out on Tower of Fantasy moving into the future, because they may surprise us with a global announcement at realistically any point. And I would urge all of you to not write the game off yet. Definitely do not give up on it. You guys remember Lost Ark? We have been waiting for, what, 6 years for that game now, and we're finally getting it a couple months from now. I do have a few other topics concerning Tower of Fantasy that I want to cover that I really think that you guys should pay attention to, that you guys should check. So I do urge you to check them out, as they're kind of crazy. Otherwise, there are other MMOs to look forward to, especially other MMOs that have a similar anime aesthetic. Blue Protocol, Noah's Heart, and others that I plan on bringing to all of your attention in the very near future. So keep an eye on the channel for those announcements.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.